Have you ever wondered why the concept of hijab has been emphasized throughout history in various religions? Across the vast expanse of time and cultures, modest attire and hijab has been recognized as a symbol of chastity, modesty, and sanctity. This clip takes you on a fascinating journey through different religions, revealing how hijab, like armor against impure gazes and wings for soaring toward perfection, holds diverse yet universally shared meanings in every culture. These three types of hijabs are shown in the picture. This type of hijab is the burka. This type of hijab is the niqab, covering everything except the eyes. This is the standard Islamic hijab, which is the easiest of them all. Islam has adopted the easiest approach to wearing hijab among all religions, but still, Islam is under attack. Regarding Jews, I mentioned this image earlier, and now I will provide more details. Orthodox Jews are those who use wigs, meaning this woman in the image is wearing hijab. As you can see, she is covered. If religion instructs covering the hair to prevent a woman from being seen as more attractive, then how does wearing a wig change anything? After all, a wig is essentially like hair. This is an Orthodox Jewish store where they purchase headscarves, or to use the modern term, they wear hijab. However, the wigs and styled hair in the store are far more attractive than their natural hair. These turbans, which Jewish women refer to as tikel, they wear them on their heads to have coverage and prevent their hair from being seen, much like the caps used for bathing. Once again, in this image, you can see the headscarves worn by these women. Look, unfortunately, wearing hijab has been confined to religion alone. Farah, the wife of the king of Iran, wore a chador when visiting the shrine of Imam Riza, peace be upon him. But outside the shrine, she did not wear any hijab. It seems that when approaching religion and similar matters, it becomes just a tradition, as if it's merely about customs and manners. It's as if only a shell of religion remains. The concept and essence of wearing hijab have been lost. For instance, now Christian homosexuals are seeking to marry each other. Maybe you ask, are there Christian homosexuals? Yes, there are.
Catholic priests have formally been given permission by Pope Francis to bless same-sex couples. This marks a major shift in policy as the church aims to become more inclusive.
Pope Francis is formally letting Catholic priests bless same-sex couples.
When they want to marry each other, they go to a church. In the presence of a priest, they exchange rings, he blesses their union with good wishes, and they swear on the Bible to remain faithful to one another. For example, in Iran, it is customary to hold wedding ceremonies at specific times. On religious occasions and religious holidays, such as the night of the birth of the Ahl al-Bayt, peace be upon them, or a night of religious celebration. However, in some cases, a few people serve alcohol at these weddings, acting contrary to religious commandments. This is an image of a Jewish woman in front of the Western Wall. Take a look at their hijabs. This photo shows the burqa, which is the same as the chador, still worn in Israel today. Here's another hijab. Not a centimeter of the body should be visible. They must be fully covered. This image is from Tel Aviv. Observe how they are preparing this young child at such an early age. Only the wrist is showing, and that's because the child hasn't learned how to fully cover yet. As you can see, they are completely covered. Or take this old picture I saw on a website claiming this is Tehran, but this is actually from Europe. It is most likely from Eastern Europe. And these women came out with this type of hijab named burqa. You can see that they have slightly fallen short of full coverage, with their legs in socks, though a little part of their feet is still visible. This is how it has been, my dear. Westerners only boast. This image again shows them standing in front of the Western Wall with full coverage. Here is another image in front of the Western Wall. As for color, since you asked, pay attention. The colors that women used for their clothes were typically black and white, blue and white, or red and white. Black and white is the most common combination. This is the shawl worn by their rabbis, which is black and white. For women, they followed the same style. This woman is Jewish and from Tunisia, a Jewish woman with her distinctive style of covering, and it wasn't mandatory for her to wear an Islamic veil. Don't be mistaken. this image shows Ethiopian Jews. We have researched this across various cultures and presented it here for you to see. If you show these pictures to people from other countries, they will assume these people are Muslims. They will claim that they are either Arabs or Africans and people of color. But no, they are Jews. This is a group photo of Jewish women wearing hijabs. There is an interesting point here. Her leg is visible in the image, and they have pixelated it. The photos are available on the internet. Here, take a look at this image showing the hijab of an Orthodox Jewish woman in Israel. Orthodox Jews are more devout and committed to their religion. The Holy Quran mentions that among the Jews, some of them pray tahajjud and are good people. We speak the truth, but unfortunately today, the essence of Judaism and Christianity has been lost. It's to the extent that people think these religions permit nudity. It's gone this far. These are old images of the followers of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. Once again, you can see they are wearing hijabs, headscarves, and chadors. Again, in this image, you see a Yemeni Jew with full covering. This image shows Turkish Jews, with both men and women fully covered. This image is of an Orthodox Jew, and I need to explain in detail that this hat replaces the hair, and the tail of the hat represents the length of their hair. They want to maintain their beauty, but without showing their hair. Now let's move to the discussion on Christianity. In Christian paintings, this is how Mary has been depicted. Gradually, from the 19th to the 20th century, the dishonest began to portray Christ naked, to the point that this nakedness reached absurd levels. For example, in a painting, Mary is breastfeeding Jesus, and her breast is visible. This is in some of the paintings that have been created recently, less than 200 years ago. The films they created to depict that historical period also showed the proper hijab for that time. Look at how it is. It is fully covered. This hijab is entirely in accordance with Islamic principles. In this image, the lady is wearing a chin-covered headscarf, just like Islamic headscarves. This is an image of a Christian woman with a head covering, and it was designed in such a way that she could only see, nothing else was visible. This is a statue dressed in clothing to display this style of hijab to the public. This image shows a Christian nun. These are also images of Christians. This image is somewhat Islamic. Islam does not allow the neck to be seen, but it permits the face and hands to be visible. In this image, look at this lady. Her neck is covered, and her hijab is completely Islamic. Look at her. She is wearing an Islamic hijab. So, understand this. There has only been one religion, my dear, one religion. God in the Holy Quran states, the religion with God is Islam. And he also says, Abraham was not a follower of Judaism or Christianity, but adhered to the pure monotheism of Islam and was never among those who committed shirk. In the Quran, religion is not plural. We do not have multiple religions, but there is one religion, and it has existed from the beginning, with prophets preaching that one religion with different laws. This is an image of a Christian woman. Interesting, a Christian woman also participated in the demonstration to defend the hijab. See, gradually this hijab turned into lace fabric, and little by little the hijab became smaller. These servants of God have gone astray.